Donald Trump driving around in the Beast. I mean, normally I think, Donald Trump would probably be driving around in an electric golf cart. Right. But, he drives around in this thing. Right. £20,000, 8-inch thick armour plating, tear gas launchers, night vision, run flat tyres, electrified door handles, and an onboard fridge stocked with blood that matches the president's type.
Blue colour.
Yeah. BFM 89.9, the business station, and welcome to Cruise Control. It's me, Rich Bradbury, joined here in the studio with Daniel Fernandez from dsf.my. Hello, Daniel. Say hello.
Hello, Richard, and thank you for having me on the show again.
So we know that Xi Jinping has fairly recently left Malaysia.
Yes.
He was here on a state visit.
Yes, few days.
Yeah.
Did some fantastic things for Malaysia.
Yeah.
Did a lot of work examining our road system, because they closed so many roads for him.
They did, 17 in fact around
and
Klang Valley.
He helped boost up our fuel sales.
Why?
Because of all the traffic jams,
right.
People had to refuel their cars more.
People moving around.
Yes, so all the petroleum stations were flying flags and saying, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, come again.
That's right. And there's a lot of talk about this vehicle that he's driving. Hongqi N701 limousine.
Yes, it's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
So what do we know about it?
Okay, Hongqi is a company that's from China, 100% Chinese owned. They have not built right-hand drive vehicles as yet for commercial use.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is they're not built for export to UK and Malaysia.
So we can't buy one.
So you can't buy one.
So we're hearing a whole bunch of rumors about the kind of James Bondy style gadgets that this thing has, or the armament that it has.
Yes.
We know that it weighs roughly 10,000 pounds,
Yes.
4,500 kilos. So that would technically make it a heavy goods vehicle.
Exactly, a HGV 4-ton vehicle.
On KL roads.
On KL roads, which means he has to get a commercial license to drive it. And he has to pay extra road tax. But never mind, he's the president of China.
I'm just worried about, not so much about the license, I'm worried more about the potholes.
What potholes? Malaysia, there's no potholes.
Are you kidding me?
We've got the best
You
roads.
just drive up Bangsar, you drive anywhere in PJ.
I think you are the problem with the potholes.
Why?
I don't seem to have any problems with potholes. I just call it terrain response.
But no, it's a genuine problem though.
It is. Malaysia has a lot of potholes, but I think this vehicle has got fantastic suspension system because they brought it in earlier, from what I was told, and they had it field tested. So obviously it's got some kind of air suspension on it. So they would have field tested to make sure that President Xi will not be uncomfortable being driven around Kuala Lumpur.
Now,
and sorry to interrupt, but I don't think he went anywhere near Bangsar also.
So tell me about the stuff that this car's supposed to have got.
Okay, according to what we've been informed, there's only 50 units in the world, 50 units. So probably the heads of states in China have it. 6-meter long limousine, so it's a stretch version. 4.0 litre twin turbo V8. It's a dream car to drive probably.
Right.
If it was 2,000 kgs, not 10,000 pounds. Okay.
It's a bit of a heavy beast, right?
Yes. It's designed to resist RPGs and ballistic threats.
So okay. So
it's bomb-proof.
Bomb-proof, right?
It's bomb-proof. It's like what Mercedes and BMW have been doing for years for bulletproof cars for heads of state in Europe and all that. Of course, America has their own with their own American vehicles.
We'll get to that in a minute, though.
It's an amazing vehicle. I'm sure the ride and handling will be superb, and I'm sure the rear seats have at the best comfort. In fact, this could be a car better than a Rolls Royce.
Now, there's some people who might be tuning in or seeing this who don't know what V8 means, don't know what V12 means.
Right.
Just quickly, in a nutshell, explain what it means.
Okay, it's an 8-cylinder engine.
Right.
If you take a basic Proton, it's 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
A basic BMW petrol engine is 6-cylinder. So it's a bigger engine. It's a V configuration, which means it's got a lot of extra power. I am sure it's turbocharged for some reason or another, because you can't move a 10,000 pound vehicle without twin turbos. They've not given us the performance figures because, of course, this is a one-of-a-kind vehicle. But I'm thinking 0 to 100 in maybe 5 seconds.
For something that weighs that much?
Because, if there's a problem, they want to get away fast.
They want to get out of it,
They want to get away fast.
Right, okay. So that's what we know about that so far. We don't have facts, figures, because
it's secret.
It's secret.
It's secret. Now, on the other extreme, let's talk about our Prime Minister's car.
So this has changed recently. From he used to be rolling around in a stretched Pradana, right?
Right.
And that's changed
dramatically.
Very recently.
For a good reason. So Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has decided to really go eco-friendly. He's in a Proton e.MAS 7
Why has he chosen that?
because he wants to be eco-friendly. Now, his car weighs in at a light 4,000 pounds compared to this one at 10,000 pounds. His is really light.
That's the battery weight though, right?
That's mostly battery weight because it's a full electric car. And being a full electric car means he's eco-friendly. Now, standout features, Malaysia's first, homemade EV in partnership with GD. A lot of features on this
Also
car.
a Chinese company.
Yes. The fact that he's driving around in an electric car shows that he's eco-friendly and he's promoting electric car ownership.
I want to talk about some of the other world leaders that we
let's
know
do
as
that.
well. This is the one that everybody talks about, the cool one, quote unquote. Donald Trump driving around in the beast. I mean, normally I think, Donald Trump would probably be driving around in an electric golf cart. But, he drives around in this thing. £20,000.
Double the weight.
Yeah, 9,000 kilos. 8-inch thick armor plating, 5-inch thick bulletproof glass, a sealed cabin with onboard oxygen supplies for chemical attacks, tear gas launchers, night vision, run-flat tires, electrified door handles to keep people like you and me away from
so
getting
that's
in. Smoke screen system, puncture-resistant fuel tank, and an onboard fridge stocked with blood that matches the president's type.
Blue color.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think President Xi's car has got anything less?
Of course not.
I think it's got more.
It's probably got more.
It's just that it's not been shared with us.
Yeah.
This they happily share because why? It's America.
Yeah.
They're open,
Yeah.
I think
people have known about this for a long time anyway.
I think it's got more safety features and armor plating and everything else, but they've managed to keep the weight down. And even with the weight, they say 10,000 pounds. It might be even heavier than this. We don't know. They're not going to tell us. So the only way to do this is for you to ask Trump to lend us his car. I'll get President Xi to lend me his car.
All right.
We do a comparison.
We can do that.
Yeah. In a few weeks' time, let's do a show on that.
So if we skip over to the UK, we can look at King Charles's, or we can look at the Prime Minister's.
Let's start with King Charles.
All right. So from what I know, he inherited this car from his mother.
Oh, how lucky.
It's a Bentley State limousine. It weighs 8,800 pounds, so 4,000 kilos. One of two ever made, based on the Bentley Arnage. Do you know anything about that?
It's a nice old sedan.
All right.
It's like a Rolls Royce.
Blast-proof, airtight cabin, taller doors and clear sight lines for public appearances, powered by a 6.75-litre twin turbocharged V8. The one thing that I read about this is that they made it so different so that the Queen could actually stand up inside the car.
Oh, it's got a raised roof.
Before she got out.
Right.
Which I thought was quite a cool little thing.
But she wasn't very tall.
She wasn't very tall.
She wasn't
Charles is
very
a
tall.
little bit taller. Right?
She's not very tall.
He probably has to stoop a little bit, right? So
is it a bit like the Pope Mobile?
No, the Popmobile's different.
Okay.
And that changes depending on which country he goes to, from what I understand.
I think when he comes to Malaysia, he'll be using a Canary.
I don't think so.
It's tall.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Keir Starmer.
Oh,
right, so he's got two.
The new Prime Minister.
Yeah, he's got two. The Range Rover Sentinel. Did you hear about this one?
I've heard about it. I've not seen it.
That's over £10,000 as well.
Okay.
It's armoured to the VPA M9 standard. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I went to do some research. It turns out that is the highest standard that you can have for armour plating on a vehicle.
Okay.
It can withstand a 15-kilogram TNT blast and gunshot rounds from a 7.62mm armor-piercing round. It can pretty much put it with anything. 13mm explosive-resistant steel plating underneath the body, titanium and Kevlar-lined cabin, bullet-resistant polycarbonate glass, independent oxygen supply for protection against chemical or biological attacks, run-flat tyres, and advanced suspension for evasive manoeuvres.
You know what would be interesting to find out?
What's that?
Who is providing these run-flat tyres?
Good question.
Because very heavy vehicles, abnormally large, and run-flat tyres. Who's providing?
So I read that the Range Rover ones, I don't know who provides them, but the ones that are provided, they can run up to 30 kilometers at full speed before they collapse. Which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And another interesting fact, if you think about it, United Kingdom, King Charles, like you mentioned, Bentley.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer,
Yeah.
okay? Prime Minister, Range Rover.
Yeah.
Why aren't they driving British cars?
You see, I wondered how long it would take before you got to this.
Because one is owned by Volkswagen, Bentley is owned by Volkswagen, and Range Rover is owned by Tata.
Yeah, right, correct. Yes. So Boris Johnson used to drive around in a Jaguar. Do you want to have a joke about that as well?
So, why aren't they driving a British car?
For those of you that don't know, folks, he's doing this on every single show. He lets people know that none of the cars that the English people drive are English anymore.
Because all the English cars
Yeah.
over the years have been sold to
The Indians. Or other
Chinese.
people, or the Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking, though, like we have the Hongqi, which means red flag, if I'm
Okay.
correct. We have the Beast, which is the American one. If we were to name the Malaysian one, what would we call it?
Kueh Lapis.
I'm thinking Bungkus.
No.
Why Kueh Lapis?
Because it's got so many layers. It's got a Chinese layer and a Malaysian layer in it.
Oh, so muhiba.
Semua bah. It's a wonderful car. So it's part from China and it's part from Malaysia. So Kueh Lapis. And if you look at it, the Kueh Lapis has got many colors. And I like Kueh Lapis.